Photo people, I'm Allie.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're the Photo Sisters.
Today we're going to be talking to you about Canon's 16 to 35 millimeter f2.8 version 1 L series lens.
Yep, so here it is. Pretty typical.
And let's just show you real quick next to something like a full-size bottle of nail polish. This thing is a beast. It's big.
Yep, it's not very heavy though. Using this to just turn to the different focal length that you want. It's really smooth. It does click just a little bit, but I think that's because this lens is really old and it's had a lot of use, but it definitely is still very smooth and easy. It doesn't catch and it doesn't have any sort of, thing that's tough to turn. I've tried some lenses that you really have to work to turn. You do not have to work to turn this at all, and this up here is just to do your manual focusing if you choose to manual focus, but overall it's just really, really good at focusing. It focuses quickly, and it's pretty quiet, and it also, all the focusing elements are inside, so when you go to change the focal length that you're shooting at, you'll notice that, the overall size of the lens doesn't change. It's all on the inside when you change the different focal lengths. So that's that. Alright, so let's get real. This lens is, I like it, but I don't love it. The thing that I should say, it has its pros and its cons. Since this is the first version of the 16 to 35 L series lens, it definitely has a huge problem with distortion and vignetting around the edges. So if I'm ever using this, especially all the way wide at 16 millimeters, I have to make sure that I don't have anything near the edges because it gets stretched out. And if you have a head or a leg or an arm or something that's pretty close up and noticeable, it
kind of bends.
It bends it and it's not very flattering. But I will say that the 16 millimeter to shoot at is really fun, especially if you're taking landscape or architecture, or I really like to use this lens at weddings to kind of showcase the setting, the building that they're in, a wide shot of the room, a wide shot of the ceremony. I don't really use this at portrait sessions just because I like more so the look of the 35L lens or the 51.2L lens, and I know you're saying, well, you could just zoom into 35 millimeters on this lens. Well, obviously the max aperture is f2.8, so I can't shoot down at the apertures that I like to shoot at, and it also does not have the color rendition of the 35 f1.4L lens. I will say that the colors are pretty good on this lens. It's definitely a lot better color quality than what I have seen in the Tamron and the Sigma lenses. Obviously not exactly comparable with their focal lengths on here, but just overall color is great. You can expect that from Canon, but it's just not as vibrant and as sharp as my other L series lenses. So I would say that this is probably something that if you find a good deal on this lens, or if you've tried shooting at 16 millimeters before and you really like that and you want the ability to have really super wide but also not so wide focal lengths, this is a great lens. But I think this is more of a novelty lens. It's definitely not a must-have, but if you want to use this lens for wedding receptions, I think that's great. But overall, I like the lens. It's a good lens, but it's not my favorite. The version 2, they have improved a lot of the distortion on the edges, so maybe if I were to try version 2, I could give you a much better recommendation for it, but just as this one is, it's okay. I actually bought it used a long time ago, so I was able to get a pretty good deal on it, so I would maybe look out for it if you ever find a used one. But it's not the first lens that I grab. Like I said, I don't even take it to portrait shoots anymore, just because I don't really use it that often. So, yeah, that's about it. But don't be sad. I
So
still
don't
love
forget
you.
our other L series lenses that we've reviewed. So we'll link to those below so you can check those out as well.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.